Tonight is under the lights in Northeast Ohio, but in Euclid, this big spotlight is on safety. Thanks for joining us first at 4. I'm Nicole Versansky. Brian has the day off. Fights, even gunfire, have caused problems at the stadium more than once over the last 2 years. So what is the school doing about it? Reporter Colton Molesky joining us live now with the story. Colton.
Nicole, you can see here the metal detectors behind me to get into the stadium. I'm told that's pretty standard practice, but what isn't typical is the amount of police that you'll see at tonight's game. Now, this all follows a shooting that happened at the end of August just down the street. A 17-year-old killed, several other teens injured after a Euclid football game. And then yesterday, the Euclid Police Department thanking a student for drawing attention to the presence of a gun at the Euclid Shaker Heights game. Another season of Euclid football and more scares for folks in the crowd. A chaotic scene after a Euclid football game as police respond to gunfire. It marks an alarming trend. 2 incidents at or around football games. Just a year removed from when Euclid moved a football game off their home field, had an opponent forfeit rather than play, and made a 3rd game family only. All after student behavior concerned staff.
Most of my classmates are not going now, and I think some people are concerned about safety and stuff.
Allie is a Strongsville student, and she says not everyone feels comfortable.
I know some parents aren't letting my friends go.
The Euclid Police Department tells me they are beefing up security and adding several officers to the security detail.
I think that there is some additional Strongsville police escorts and just some support so that everyone feels a little bit more comfortable with the whole situation.
The Strongsville Police Department confirmed 2 officers would escort the team over. I also reached out to the school district, which said in a statement they worked with the Euclid to ensure it was safe for everyone to, quote, enjoy all that Friday Night Lights in Northeast Ohio in the fall has to offer. I also reached out to the Euclid superintendent, but was told he's at a conference and did not receive a statement. I also reached out to the mayor's office and am awaiting a response. And after that shooting that happened a few weeks ago, several parents took to social media sharing their concerns about Euclid football and their kids and families attending such events. And after talking with both police departments, it's something that they aren't taking lightly. They are taking those concerns to heart and making sure that safety is a top priority at tonight's game, which kicks off at 7. In Euclid, Colton Molesky, 19 News.
Now you're